all exploded the emergencies.
Bueno, estamos en la carretera que une el Garrobo con el Castillo de las Guardas, la A476.
The storm Claudia developed from a broad area of low pressure that had already brought early cold weather and snowfall to eastern Canada and the northeastern United States in early November. As the system moved over the Atlantic, it strengthened, and after slowing down to the northwest of the Iberian Peninsula, it began accumulating enormous masses of warm, humid air.
Sábado 15 de noviembre 2025, son las 4:20 de la tarde.
Beginning on November 11, the Spanish region of Galicia was hit. Within a single day, up to 5.9 inches of precipitation fell, and such volumes of water turned city streets into rushing torrents. Rivers, overwhelmed by the sudden inflow, began overflowing their banks, creating a flood threat for nearby settlements.
Bordea las canteras, mirad cómo va.
Para la casa nuestra habrá llegado.
Calla, claro.
Mira loca. Mira la cailía. Aquí lo tendré que llamar, ellos.
In Portugal, Claudia struck with particularly destructive force. The most dramatic events unfolded in the popular tourist city of Albufeira, located in the southern region of Algarve. It was here that a tornado formed in the morning. The vortex hit a hotel restaurant at the moment when several dozen people were having breakfast inside. The tornado's destructive power left 28 people injured, including 6 children between the ages of 2 months and 7 years. 4 adults with serious injuries were hospitalized. The tornado also tore through a campsite, where a woman was killed while inside her motorhome when the storm struck. On November 15, another tornado hit the municipality of Silves, where several buildings were destroyed and 2 residents were left homeless. In Faro District, wind gusts reached approximately 69.6 miles per hour. Torrential downpours combined with hurricane-force winds toppled dozens of trees, damaged power lines, and caused widespread electricity outages. In the village of Azedo, located in the municipality of Setúbal, a landslide collapsed a section of road. Traffic was completely blocked in both directions, significantly complicating the work of emergency services.
Grande pânico. Grande pânico, olhem por isto. Não, vocês não têm noção.
In the town of Fernão Ferro, located near Lisbon, water levels rose so rapidly that during the night it burst into the home of an elderly couple. They were unable to escape and drowned. The scale of the storm's impact across the country was enormous. According to the National Authority for Emergency and Civil Protection, ANEP, 3,363 incidents directly related to the severe weather were recorded throughout Portugal.
I mean, it's going down a fair bit now, isn't it? Yeah.
As it moved farther north, Claudia reached the United Kingdom. In England and Wales, the situation was worsened by sudden flooding. In the town of Monmouth, nearly 4.7 inches of rain fell overnight, exceeding the average monthly rainfall. The River Mon now breached its defensive structures, and on the morning of November 16, residents found most of the town submerged. In southern England, several railway lines were closed, both due to fallen trees on the tracks and the high water levels. Ireland fared no better. The counties of Wexford and Loyois were hit hardest. A sharp rise in river levels led to the flooding of homes and businesses, and about 5,000 people were left without electricity, according to ESB networks. In France, however, the same storm produced a completely different, yet no less unusual phenomenon. Due to an influx of warm subtropical air into the southwestern regions of the country, temperatures rose sharply. In one locality, a new November record was set, 85.6 degrees Fahrenheit, an entirely atypical value for this time of year. With each new natural disaster, we witness how their scale continues to grow, and more territories simultaneously fall under the destructive force of nature. Unfortunately, this is consistent with, and fully confirms, the mathematical model of the exponential growth of natural catastrophes on our planet that the scientific community of ALLATRA presented to the public several years ago. We invite you to familiarize yourself with these forecasts. They may save your life. A rare and unusually early snowstorm struck southeastern Canada on November 9, 2025, covering the provinces of Quebec and Ontario. In southern Ontario, in Toronto, the country's largest city, nearly 4 inches of snow fell on November 9th.
It's snowing. It started.
So first snow came tonight, yesterday night actually.
It was the earliest snowfall of this magnitude in more than half a century, since 1969. Normally, snow of this volume does not arrive here until December.
So first snow came tonight, yesterday night actually.
And in nearby Hamilton, up to 6.5 inches of snow accumulated, the earliest snowfall there since 1962. Ontario police recorded hundreds of traffic incidents within 24 hours. In Quebec, some areas received up to 14 inches of snow overnight. The regions of Montérégie and Montreal were hit the hardest. Large numbers of fallen branches damaged power lines, leaving nearly 400,000 customers without electricity. Roads became covered with ice, causing serious accidents. Public works crews were clearing roughly 6,000 miles of streets and sidewalks.
Well, here we are, the first snowstorm in Scarborough.
It's already winter time. Winter time 2025. What the hell?
The storm front also brought Arctic cold into the United States. Across the Midwest and the Great Lakes region, up to 12 inches of snow fell over 2 days. Highways around Chicago, Illinois, were buried, and traffic was paralyzed, prompting the first winter weather warning there in almost 2 years. Snow also fell in Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and New York, where cold air from Canada clashed with a warm flow over the Great Lakes, intensifying the snowfall. The cold wave then surged rapidly southward. By the morning of November 11th, more than 190 million people across the United States were experiencing freezing temperatures. In Florida, Alabama, and Georgia, temperatures dropped 10 to 25 degrees Fahrenheit below normal, reaching 28 to 27 degrees Fahrenheit in some areas. Orlando saw only 37 degrees, while Jacksonville and Savannah dropped to 28 degrees, marking the coldest November morning since 1976. Even Miami cooled to 48 degrees, and residents witnessed iguanas falling from trees, stunned by the cold.
Snow in Georgia, folks.
It is snowing in November in North Carolina.
Meteorologists explain that the cause was a powerful polar vortex pulling Arctic air from northern Canada and even from near the North Pole, almost 3 weeks before the official start of winter. Once again, we are witnessing anomalies and chaos in the natural processes of atmospheric circulation. Few people realize that one of the factors behind this planetary disruption, alongside rising temperatures, is micro and nanoplastic pollution, with trillions of particles now filling Earth's atmosphere. Learn more in the video, Why Turbulence is on the Rise. Egon Chilakian on atmospheric anomalies and nanoplastic pollution.
Cuidado dos fios, Cristina! Cuidado dos fios, Cristina! Meu Deus!
Meu Deus do céu, olha o que sobrou da cooperativa, meu Deus do céu, olha!
On November 7th, several states in Brazil were hit by powerful storm winds accompanied by heavy rain and hail, caused by an extratropical cyclone. The states most affected by the disaster were Rio Grande do Sul, Santa Catarina, and Paraná.
Caralho, velho, tinha que baixar. Olha, joga o caminhão pro lado. Tá, pô, olha, caiu no poste.
In Porto Alegre, the capital of Rio Grande do Sul, wind gusts reached about 66 miles per hour. Around 800,000 people were left without electricity. In the municipality of Rolandi, a young man died after being struck by a falling tree.
Polícia Militar, Polícia Civil, Defesa Civil, Corpo de Bombeiro, ambulâncias foram várias.
In Paso Fundo, hurricane-force winds knocked down trees, brought down power lines, and shattered windows on upper floors of buildings. Due to the full mobilization of fire and rescue services to deal with the storm's aftermath, the graduation ceremony of the junior firefighter program was canceled. In addition to the strong winds, hail of medium and large size was reported in several areas. Heavy rainfall affected the central and northern regions of the state. In some places, more than 6 inches of rain fell in just 24 hours, exceeding the normal monthly average.
Olha aí os golpes de vento que deu aí, ó. Olha, foi tornado. Tornado que deu, ó, derrubou, tombou o caminhão aqui, ó. Olha aí o tornado, ó, as árvores, ó.
In the Serra Gaúcha region, numerous landslides caused transportation disruptions and property damage. In Caxias do Sul, a landslide hit a residential house and 4 vehicles, but fortunately, no one was injured. The most tragic event occurred in the state of Paraná, where a powerful tornado destroyed up to 90% of the municipality of Rio Bonito do Iguaçu. Within just a few minutes, entire neighborhoods were reduced to rubble and cars were tossed around like toys. The city looked like a war zone. No electricity, no water, no communication, while rescue teams worked for hours, searching through the debris.
Ai, tá caindo algum prédio ainda.
The disaster claimed the lives of 6 people, 5 in Rio Bonito do Iguaçu and 1 in nearby Guarapuava. Another 750 people were injured, 30 of them seriously. A field hospital was deployed to provide medical assistance, and at least 1,000 residents were left homeless. Temporary shelters were set up in nearby towns.
Tudo isso, a casa que eu construí com sacrifício, né, que sou viúva, né, pedaço por pedaço, e agora vem esse...
Não tem muito o que fazer. Me perdoa, seu chorar.
Cheguei aqui no mercado, me socorrer do temporal. Desabou o mercado.
Although the municipality was devastated, people did not lose hope. Some helped their neighbors. Others were simply grateful to be alive. Aid began arriving from neighboring cities, while volunteers and locals cleared the streets and collected debris. One survivor said, "The wind took everything except the will to live."
Berrando, gritando socorro. Olha isso aqui. Não sobrou absolutamente nada aqui em cima, cara.
Ó, isso aqui, ó. Isso aqui é tudo casa. Ali, ó, como é que ficou.
The scale of destruction forced authorities to declare a state of emergency in at least 14 cities of the state. Since Friday, 835 medical assistance requests have been recorded. 32 people remain hospitalized, 4 of them in intensive care.
Não sabemos nada. Olha, gente,
A preliminary assessment by Metsul Meteorologia indicated that the tornado reached Category 4 on the Enhanced Fujita scale, YEF 4, with wind gusts estimated between 155 and 186 miles per hour. According to Metsul Meteorologia, the tornado in Rio Bonito do Iguaçu was one of the most powerful in the world this year and the most destructive in Brazil's modern history. Field analyses and radar data confirmed that within the same storm system, 3 additional tornadoes formed in the neighboring state of Santa Catarina, causing significant damage in the municipalities of Dionísio Cerqueira, Zanxir, and Faccional dos Gages. It is important to understand that the intensification of natural disasters began decades ago. What we are witnessing now is simply the visible phase of that process. Unusual weather phenomena, which have been occurring in various regions for several years, will continue to increase in both frequency and magnitude. To gain a deeper understanding of what is happening to our planet, we recommend watching the video address by Dr. Egan Chalakian. In it, he thoroughly explains the causes of these events, analyzes their consequences, shares forecasts for the future, and presents scientific approaches to possible solutions to this global problem. Residents of the Philippines had barely recovered from a series of natural disasters when the fierce typhoon Kalmaegi, locally named Tino, struck the country. It hit the province of Cebu on November 4th, bringing torrential rains, landslides, and catastrophic flooding. The Pagasa Weather Service recorded extreme rainfall. The city of Toledo received about 16 9/10 inches of rain in just one day, while the average monthly rainfall for Cebu in November is only about 5 1/10 inches. Most hydraulic structures in the region are designed to handle a maximum of about 16 feet of water, with the strongest built for up to 33 feet. But the typhoon brought as much as 39 feet.
Record on Iberian. Record on.
Torrents of water rushed down from the mountains into residential areas, where drainage systems were either non-existent or long incapable of coping with such loads. Poor neighborhoods with fragile infrastructure were completely washed away, and in some places, the water rose to more than 10 feet. Locals shared that they had experienced typhoons before, but Kalmaegi was different, too strong. Once the water receded, the true scale of destruction became visible. People returned to the ruins, clearing layers of mud and debris, searching for anything that could still be salvaged. A week later, many districts of Cebu were still without running water. Major pipelines and artesian wells had been damaged, and recovery efforts were slow due to collapsed infrastructure. Although Kalmaegi was not the most powerful in terms of wind, its slow movement and enormous volumes of water made it deadly. Most of the victims drowned. Across the Philippines, 232 people were killed, 112 were reported missing, and 532 were injured. The typhoon then moved on to Vietnam, which was still recovering from devastating floods the previous week. On November 6th, with wind speeds reaching up to 114 miles per hour, it struck the provinces of Dak Lak and Gia Lai. In just 6 hours, some areas received about 13 8/10 inches of rain. Powerful winds toppled trees, tore down walls, and left millions without electricity. The storm damaged nearly 30,000 homes, 320 of which were completely destroyed. In Gia Lai province, more than 300,000 people were evacuated, the largest operation in the region's history. Thanks to these preventive measures, mass casualties were avoided, though the disaster still claimed 5 lives and 3 people remained missing. Typhoons and other natural disasters are rapidly changing their behavior, a fact now recognized not only by scientists but also by ordinary people. More than ever, it is vital that emergency services take into account the new nature of these phenomena and that everyone understands what is happening to our planet and how we can help mitigate the consequences. This is the message of Dr. Egan Chalakian in his video address.